All right, what's going on YouTube? This is BoxingWave. Let's talk Dereck Chisora against David Price. This weekend, it's going to be on the undercard of Josh Taylor against Regis Prograis. Okay, so that's on the zone this weekend. It's like kind of like a co-main event. I wasn't able to speak on this fight the week that they had a press conference. It was a press conference where Chisora was doing what Chisora does. You know, he was very outspoken, very upset that he wasn't getting paid as much as he felt that he should. Thought that he was the real name of this fight card. You know, he thought it was a joke that he was on the undercard and wasn't the main event for this card, even though it was in a championship fight. He thought because of his name alone that he was selling the fight, and he was very outspoken about that at the press conference, attacking Eddie Hearn. All right, and this is when he was actually supposed to be fighting Joseph Parker originally. All right, and I can't argue that. I mean, these are heavyweights that we're talking about here, and even though Regis Prograis and Josh Taylor is one of the better matchups of the year, you can make an argument that the Chisora fight was a bigger fight. You know, I don't know. I know those guys are two British. Well, no, I'm sorry. Chisora is a British fighter, and they are having this fight in the O2 Arena. He's been on pay-per-views and such, so I see where he's coming from. But at the same time, I wouldn't go as far as saying that this is a more meaningful fight. It's definitely not a more meaningful fight than the World Boxing Super Series finals and a unification match between the two best in the 140 division. I know there's smaller guys, yes. So you'll go either way. I didn't make a video back then, so I'm kind of addressing it now. I don't think the fight means more. Uh, the heavyweight fight means more, but I understand where he's coming from as far as name and ticket sales. Like, yes, he does have a good point. There's a lot of people that's probably going to this fight because they want to see Del Boy fight. You know, I don't know. I'm not a British. I'm not from out there, so I don't know how the people are out there. But I mean, just based on how I view, like I see Dereck Chisora and his fan base from out there, I would probably think that he probably has a bigger fan base than a Josh Taylor. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, uh, Joseph Parker. All right, he backed out of the fight. He was supposed to fight Dereck Chisora. Got a nasty spider bite. Didn't even come to the press conference. Dereck Chisora felt that he was gonna back out of the fight. Whatever, whatever. I'm not gonna get too much into that. That's a fight that I really had wanted to see. I liked the fight. I thought we kind of knew the fight was going to happen. They were talking about having that fight, and I thought the fight was cool. You know, I wanted to see it. Two guys that both lost to Dillian White. You know, Joseph Parker's a former heavyweight champion. You know, lost to Dillian White in a very debatable fight. Lost to uh, Anthony Joshua, which was another fight that was very competitive. And I wanted to see that fight. But listen, we're getting David Price, and it's not a bad fight too. I think it's a fight that's not easy to call neither because both of these guys have a lot of losses. But they both have lost fights that I thought they would win, and they both have won fights that I thought that they would lose in. You know, so it's really hard to call it with those two. You know, Dereck Chisora and David Price are not the most consistent fighters. They've both been very active the last couple years, which is good. But yeah, the way I see this fight going is I do think that there is going to be a knockout in this fight from either side. They both have knockout power. Dereck Chisora is going to be looking to set up that big right hand. Okay, he's going to be pulling a lot. He's going to be throwing jabs. He's going to be pulling jabs. Looking to set up that right hand. He's going to be coming forward, being the aggressor, trying to bully David Price, going to the body, making a fight very physical. Just high volume, just very aggressive, a lot of pressure. He's going to be bringing that to David Price. David Price, on the other hand, is going to be trying to maintain range. He's going to be shooting. He has the better jab between the two. So he's going to be throwing a lot of jabs, and following that up with the right hand. That's his best punch. He's also going to be probably holding and clinching a lot because Dereck Chisora is just going to be very physical with him. He's probably going to be looking to time Dereck Chisora with an uppercut as he's coming in and stepping in. So he's pretty good with that uppercut. You seen him land that uppercut a lot against Dave Allen in his last fight. So we can expect Price to do that. They both have power. I think they both have enough power to hurt each other. They've both been knocked out by hooks. Most of the time they get knocked out. The both of them, I've seen Dereck Chisora get knocked out by a hook. I don't know if it was a left cross or a hook, but I seen him get knocked out by David Hay with a hook. I also seen Dillian White knock out Dereck Chisora with a hook in that rematch, okay? Which kind of came out of nowhere. I think if you time it right and you try to throw the hook while Derek is about to throw his and time it right and connect, I think that's the best way to knock out Dereck Chisora. I think you just got to set it up where you know where he's about to throw it, but you try to get off on him before and land it earlier than his and knock him out. I think that's the best way. Other than that, Dereck Chisora is just going to be coming forward with a very tight high guard, and it's going to be hard to land cleanly with that high guard. He has a very, very tight high guard, and he's going to just be coming forward. Yeah, you're going to be landing shots, uppercuts, hook, and everything, but it's it's very, very tight, and it's going to be hard to really connect with that. All right, David Price, I think the way the fight is gonna go, I think because of Chisora's pressure, I think his body punches and just outworking Price, I think he's gonna overwhelm Price and end up landing a big shot that's gonna knock him out. I think early on, David Price is gonna be doing well with his jab, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to maintain it unless Price knocks him out early on. And I mean early, when I say early, I mean within the first 6 rounds, okay, by the 5th round the latest maybe. I think if he's able to hurt Chisora by then and knock him out, then maybe that's the best way he'll win. But I think Chisora's pressure and him being relentless in this fight is just going to be too much for David Price. Um, Price is very capable of hurting him, but I think his jab. I just think Chisora has just. I like his body of work better. I know he has more losses on his record, but he's consistently fought very, very high end fighters. I mean, he's been in there with Tyson Fury twice. He's been in there with David Haye. He's been in there with Dillian White twice. He's been in there with a lot of fighters. And he's knocked out some good fighters. He's had some questionable losses on his record, whereas David Price, who is not as durable, who has the reputation of being extremely chinny. I just don't think he's going to be able to take the power if if Dereck Chisora is to land a big shot, and he's going to be looking to land a very big right hand in that fight at some point, especially if Chisora gets him to the ropes. So I don't expect Price to really be backing up Chisora unless he hurts Chisora, okay? But even if he hurts him, will he be able to completely put him away? I'm banking more on Chisora putting him away. The only thing that also worries me about Chisora is the fact that he said he's not going to have a trainer for this fight. I don't know if that could be a bad sign of underestimating David Price. I thought that Dave Allen also underestimated David Price. He went in that fight thinking that he had the fight in the bag. He was calling other fighters out at that time. He was just totally underestimating his opponent. I hope Dereck Chisora is not doing the same thing here. I know he's upset that he's not making as much money for this fight, but I hope he's just not trying to be cheap and not have a trainer in his corner for this fight, Um, so I hope he prepares even without a trainer. I hope he's been preparing for this fight as much as he has for any other fight, even without the trainer, all right? But I think he's making a mistake with that. I don't know. Maybe, he's at the point in his career. He's been around. He's a seasoned fighter. He's been around for a while. He probably knows how he's going to fight. He's going to bring the same fight regardless because he's been in the game for a long time. He's definitely a vet in the heavyweight division. But at the same time, it's like, you're doing this because you just expect to win. And hopefully, I just think that he can't underestimate David Price. And it'll be a shame if, I don't know what the odds are, but I would believe that Chisora is probably the favorite to win this fight just because of his body of work and activity. All right. But if I'm comparing Chisora to Price's recent opposition, I would probably rate Chisora below Povetkin, but above Dave Allen. All right, so I expect more. I definitely expect more from Chisora than what David Allen brought in that fight. But I don't think he's as accurate and stuff like that as Povetkin. Like I rate Povetkin at a championship level. Like he's a very elite contender, whereas I feel like Chisora is a very elite. He's like the best um, journeyman that's in the heavyweight division. You know, I think he's always going to be a good fight and a dangerous fight for anyone, and he will pick up a couple wins that you wouldn't expect him to. But as far as consistency is concerned, I think if he were to fight the top 10 all back to back to back, he would probably lose most, if not all, of those fights. Okay. But that still doesn't take away from him being like one of the toughest fights in the game in the heavyweight division. You know, I don't see David Price, even with the few wins he's going to pick up on that level. All right, so I have Chisora winning this one by knockout. Let me know what you guys think on the comment. Make sure you guys subscribe, support the channel, donate to the channel, like, dislike, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.